Welcome, STEMgineers, to STEM to Stern, the podcast where curiosity meets critical thinking. Join Chauntée and Jake as they discuss STEM topics that spark debate and exploration.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to STEM to Stern. This is Jake.
And this is Chauntée.
Yes, it is. And today, Jake is going to take us down a road of...
The most interesting scientific experiment I've ever heard of.
I didn't even want to try to say all that at once. Go for it.
And it's very tempting to pick modern experiments that are really sophisticated, like cosmologists measuring the diameter of the known universe. But I decided to go back in time a little bit. Let's go back to 276 BC in ancient Greece.
We're going to go in our time machine real quick.
Exactly. Hold on.
Our faces
Okay.
would... Okay, we're there.
We're there. So, there was a dude, very cool dude by the name of Eratosthenes back in ancient Greece. And this dude, he was into math, he was into science, he was into geography, he was into so many different subjects that the Greeks actually nicknamed him Beta because he's the second best at everything in the world. He was never the best, he was never the absolute best in all of these subjects, but he was the second best, so they called him Beta.
This is not to be confused with the word beta that's used nowadays. This is the original word.
Indeed, indeed. But here's the deal. Eratosthenes, he was a very creative guy, and believe it or not, back at that time, 276 BC, most Greek philosophers, they were very much aware, these philosophers and scientists were very much aware that the Earth is round. So it's kind of a misnomer that people think, oh, they thought the Earth was flat back then. No, at that point, they had an idea of...
They had it together.
What the Earth was like. Well, what this guy did, he was very clever. He was able to calculate, within a few thousand miles, by the way, the circumference of the Earth using sticks and shadows.
Wait, what?
I know, it's crazy. So he was...
Sticks and shadows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very primitive technology, but he was able to use these measurements along with some math and calculate the circumference of the Earth. And here's how he did it. So he was, I think he was off the coast of Libya, modern day Libya, and it was like a Greek settlement at the time. What he did is he paid a guy to walk from there to Alexandria, Egypt, to measure the distance between those two cities. So this dude literally walked step by step and counted how many steps it took to get there. And then he had somebody observe the shadow of a stick in Alexandria and the shadow of a stick in the town that he was in. And because the Earth is round, the shadow for one stick would be slightly different in length than the shadow of the other stick.
What?
You can kind of picture that geometrically.
What?
And so he used these sticks and shadows, and then he used the calculated distance between these two towns, one in Egypt and one in modern-day Libya, and he was able to calculate the circumference of the Earth within about 3,000 miles or so, which is pretty close, because I think it's like 26,000 miles in circumference, something around there.
That is so crazy. And to think of that is also just mind-blowing to me.
Exactly. Like that shows you that so much of STEM is not necessarily ingrained in the technology that we have, but it's ingrained in cleverness and using very simple tools to solve mathematical problems.
I love it.
Very
Love it.
cool.
I would love to do an experiment kind of like that with the shadows and sticks concept, because I do think it's very interesting, like the way that the shadow hits, and
Certainly.
it's so cool.
Maybe I could go down to Florida and you could stay here, or vice versa.
Yeah, I'm going to Florida.
Whoever is on vacation shift next, and we can perform that same experiment. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be fun.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, so what we want to know then from you is, A, what's your favorite experiment of all time that you've heard about, or even one that you've done? I know I did a lot of experiments in my classroom as a teacher, so I'm hoping that if you're my student or previous student, say some of your favorite ones that I did with you, because I'd be curious to know what your favorite one was, because we've done lots of them in my classroom. So, yeah, I would just like to know.
Hands-on learning for the win.
Always.
Until next time.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to STEM to Stern. We hope today's episode got you thinking. If you enjoyed the discussion, subscribe and share it with others. And be sure to check out our show notes for free resources and links that go along with today's episode. Until next time, keep questioning and keep exploring, STEMgineers.